The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
High in an Italian sky, we look down upon Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari, which this morning plays host to Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. It's round 5 of 12 on the Season 6 campaign, and all the simulated open-wheel racing from both the initial 40-minute feature and the 25-minute sprint that follows can be seen live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Buongiorno a tutti, everyone, and welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green. Way up in the press box to bring you our Word's Eye view is yours truly, Bill Soupçon, along with Sean Crackers Ambrose. Down in the production van, turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is the Doctor of Pit Topology himself, Amjad Yaman, and the cameras at his disposal have been located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. As cyberspace flows into your place over the next 15 streaming award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the doubleheader Formula Renault 2.0 Championship event that will immediately follow. And Crackers, this is the first time that the AOR has brought its doubleheader format to Imola, and the first time for GSRC to cover a Formula Renault here event for a long time at this venue.
Yes, Soup, it is, and boy, as I get my buttons all situated, I'm so happy to be here today at Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari, more commonly known as Imola, after the nearby town here in Italy. Located 50 miles east of the Ferrari factory in Maranello, Imola is considered Ferrari's home circuit and is named for that company's founder, Enzo, and his son Dino, who died in 1956. But that original layout in 53 was terrifyingly fast, Soup, and well, they've changed it a bit over the years. Now the current layout is a challenging mix of straightaways, high-speed curves, medium and slow chicanes. Total number of corner stands is 17. Over 4.9 kilometers of this track, just about 3 miles here in the States. Soup, since our drivers this morning are only sim racing, the only injury risk here is a bruised ego. But now, to get a better idea of what Imola is like, how about we go on board and take a lap in the GSRC Formula Renault.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0, so let's do a lap around Imola. You're going to try and straight line the pit straight as much as you can with how it weaves. Then, at the end, line up to the right and be very careful not to dip your tires into the grass. It won't be uncommon to see drivers go spinning into the gravel because of that. Don't drift all the way out after the second apex of Tamburello so that you won't have to lift while rounding the final left kink. From there, we've got a bit of a rest before Villeneuve. The first part of this chicane is very inviting and fast, but don't let it lure you into an entry that's too hot. Try to line yourself up for the second part to keep someone from pipping you into Tosa. Speaking of which, this uphill hairpin is tougher than it looks. The low speeds mean the downforce of the car won't help your traction, so it'll take a light right foot getting to the power. Now we charge uphill towards Piratella. You've got a very blind crest, but with all the downforce of the Renault, it's no problem. The deceiving thing about this turn is that the car wants to understeer, so a lot of drivers will wind up missing the apex thinking they can carry more speed. However, now you gotta set up for Acqua Minerale. The first part is a quick flick and you'll be braking as you round it. Then, try not to lock the brakes as you try to turn into the second apex. If you drift wide, it'll be bad news because iRacing will give you a slowdown penalty for taking too much liberty with the exit. Since we're coming up to the Alta chicane, that'll be extra bad news since it'll give your opponent a chance to overtake. Once again, don't get too greedy on the exit of the corner because otherwise you'll be told to give the time back. Now we'll finally come back downhill for good as the track weaves back and forth one more time. We're coming up to Ravazza, so let the car slide over to the right, then straighten her out and throw out the anchors. The downhill entry will make the car want to push wide on the first apex, but you really want to make sure you execute well on the second apex. This is the longest acceleration zone of the track coming back to the front stretch, so a bad run off the corner is going to leave you very, very vulnerable. Hopefully that's not the case, so as we come back to the line, we've finished a lap around Imola.
Amjad Yaman on the wheel, Joe Peak on the mic, taking and talking us around Imola. Now, before we look at the current points, let's review what happened last time at Sonoma, where passing was at a premium. For the feature race, 27 drivers took the grid, with Christoph Holstein on the pole inside René Oosterkamp. The most significant event on the opening lap was when Charlie Summers was late to the brakes and got into the back of Manuel Hoyer, collecting Jordi Lopez in the process. Now, for Hoyer, it was devastating, as the Vector Shadows driver finished last, well off the lead lap. Lopez rebounded and salvaged 14th, but the significant result was Summers, who came home in 21st. Yeah, out of the points, but still on the lead lap. Now, that's going to be significant a little bit later in more ways than one. Up front, it was Christoph Holstein from the pole holding the lead until a mistake halfway through the race turned the top spot over to René Oosterkamp. After that, it was all Oosterkamp as the SimRC driver picked up his first win of the season. Holstein held on for second, and Ty McLeod vultured his way from 6th to 3rd. So, 22 drivers finished on the lead lap, earning Odd Jones-Vilman the pole position in the sprint race. But just outside of the Norwegian pole sitter sat the aforementioned Charlie Summers. And the sun was indeed shining on Summers as he took his number 350 wire to wire for the sprint race win, his second of the season. However, the race stewards later came down on him. He gets credit with the win, but for this race today, he's not going to get qualified, and he'll have to start the feature race from the very back. Jeroen de Cortel ran behind Summers for the entire race to earn second place points, and Michael Mittner clawed his way from 13th to claim the final podium spot. As for our pole sitter Vilman, well, a very respectable 8th place, his best results of the season so far. So, who was the big points winner from California? Winning the feature race and a 13th in the sprint was enough for René Oosterkamp to get the big share of points there with 36. Despite a DNF in the sprint, a second in the feature earned Christoph Holstein 30 points, and the same total for Ty McLeod, who posted a 3rd and a 12th. Phil Reed and Michael Mittner scored well also. And now, let's look at the point standings. Now, what GSRC is going to show you in these standings takes into account the 2 drop races that the rules allow for. What it really is the driver's 2 best score plus all the bonus points he or she may have earned all season. And we have a new leader as Mega Drive's Phil Reed swaps places with Christian Koch of Vector Sim Sports. Up 4 spots thanks to his feature win was René Oosterkamp for SimRC. Jean-Francois Godard did not race the Sonoma, but thanks to the magic of pocket points, the Evo Sonic driver moves up 2 spots into 4th. Bad news for Infinity SimSport is Octor Mangan drops 2 spots to 5th. The good news for that team is they're the only team to have both of their drivers on the top 10 overlay, with Josh Thompson in 8th position. Let's look at the team championships right now. These also take into account the drop races. Koch and Mittner push Vector SimSports up 2 spots into the lead. Following them up the ladder was last season's winning duet of Reed and Nolden for Mega Drive. Infinity SimSports, Mangden and Thompson dropped from the lead down into the 3rd, also falling as Red Devil Racing's powered by Summers and last season's driver champ Christian DeCatch. SimRC holds station in 5th, manned by Oosterkamp and newcomer Philip Jones. All right, crackers. For the Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, it never seems to fail to put on a great show for the fans, and Sonoma, even though passing was hard, was no different. So, as we show the series details for new viewers, so often these races are decided by car damage as results of like a longer pit stop. How unfriendly are the curbs here at Sonoma and these fragile Renaults?
Well, it's those sausage curbs which you're going to find here that are very unfriendly, Soup, and boy, they can really damage the wing, under tray, or suspension on this Formula Renault, and you're going to have to be very, very careful around them because, boy, you know what? You make that first chicane, it's going to be a factor. You've got to be very, very careful in those areas. But listen, this is a great car, the Formula Renault 2.0. It's a 2000cc 4-cylinder, 16-valve naturally aspirated power motor, Soup, and you know, on this track it's a very interesting combo because everything you kind of knew about the braking zones in much more higher powered vehicles at Imola, such as F1 cars or even your higher powered GT cars, you can really take these chicanes at a pretty good clip. You just got to be very, very careful, and again, you've got to really watch yourself on top of those curbs. This first race today, the feature race, it's, you know, you're gonna need a pit stop. There's a limited amount of fuel in the tank. It's an open setup, so the drivers have the opportunity to kind of play with that and kind of dial in the number they need to make X number of laps to make it through that first 40-minute segment. But the really big factor, Soup, I think, is going to be, especially because this race starts with a chicane, is that you don't get any time to heat the tires up. It is a standing start here in the AOR, and that'll be fun to watch because, like I said, that first chicane, they could stack them up pretty quick there, buddy.
And let's go ahead and talk weather. On the little chart we put up there, it said that the weather is dynamic, but actually, they kind of know what it's like coming into it because they set it up on Thursday, and then they carry it over here from the practice session on Thursday. It carries over to the race today. How is it today, and what's it going to do to the cars?
Well, Soup, it's partly cloudy. It's only about 85 degrees on track, 77 degrees outside. It's really not bad, and it's not very windy. It's only about 6 miles an hour. I think, honestly, we should have pretty decent grip today. The only thing that concerns me is that this is a morning session, and, there actually is a little bit of glare that comes off this track every now and then. You might even see it on the screen right there. It's maybe not that extreme when you're in the cockpit, but it can wreak a little havoc sometimes on where your braking markers might be. And if you're racing in traffic, that can distract you just a bit.
Now, this doubleheader format, this is unique to the AOR and the Formula Renault, and it's also something different than anything we do here on GSRC. It really makes for an exciting race. Let's go ahead and talk about the details of this feature race that's coming up here that we'll show highlighted in yellow.
Yeah, and again, so it's going to be 40 minutes. Like I said, you're going to need one pit stop because you've only got about 40% of fuel in the tank to start the race. So you will need a pit stop, and that is going to be a big deal because it's a really, really wide window of when they come in. And so this is round 5 today, and we've got a very good chance we'll see 2 different winners between the feature and the sprint race, and honestly, we could see the same winner. We've seen it before, so they will invert all the cars from the lead lap in this feature race, and that will be your starting order. The inversion will be your starting order of the sprint race coming up next.
And we showed that 16X, those are incident points. And you think, well, how's that going to come into play? Well, we saw a bunch of drivers really have an issue with that last time out as they blinked off into the twilight zone. Let's go ahead and talk about this. You can hear the bells ringing here in Italy from the nearby chapel. Let's go ahead and talk about the pit lane entrance and exit here, Sean, since pitting is so important in this series.
Well, I will tell you this. It's long. It's a very long pit lane. 37 miles an hour down that pit lane. You do have a limiter, pit limiter. You're probably wise to use it again because this is a long pit road. You're going to have to be flawless, Soup, in and out. The exit, it's a bit of a long run out. If you've got a lot of traffic coming through, though, that can be a very, very tough proposition heading down into Tarabella.
And you and I have our work cut out for us here, as all these names, of course, when they are in Europe, they like to name their corners. I think we're pretty good on them, Sean. You know what's unique about this track is one of the few tracks in Europe that runs counterclockwise. Okay, so get your eyes adjusted. You're not seeing, yes, this is not the Twilight Zone. This is just Imola. And it has been around for a long time. All right, let's take a look at some of the drivers that are here with us today who are making, as qualifying is going on right now, maybe we can show a little bit of that. We see it right there. Look at that, Oscar Magnan up on front right now. I believe he's put in both of his laps. Christian Koch sitting in second. A name that we haven't seen for a while. He was with us, I think, way back in Season 4, and that's Hugo Prado.
Yeah, Hugo Prado, we kind of debated that, or at least you and our director, Amjad, did. I'm not as familiar with Hugo. I believe he's raced in another league that we've covered along the way, but Hugo already pretty fast on the board. A 140 flat is enough to have him third right now in the provisional grid here.
And now we look at Charlie Summers. I'm surprised he's out there. He has a qualifying ban, so unless he's just going to just put in some practice laps. See, what he might be doing there is making sure that he always gets an X every qualifying run so he doesn't put in a qualifying time. It looks like the qualifying is just about done, so why don't we bring it up and we'll go ahead and run you through the entire, oh, it looks like 31 car field with us today. And sitting on the front row is going to be, well, he is aggressive. He's not going to be as aggressive up there in front of, no one to pass, and that's Oscar Mang and Christian Koch outside of him. Sean?
Row 2, Hugo Prado. Whoa, there he is. And Phil Reed.
Row 3, Michael Mittner and Rene Osterkamp.
Okay. Row 4, Ty McLeod, Manuel Hoyer.
Lawrence sudden strike to Reich. A good qualifying position in 9th inside of Christoph Holstein for row 5.
Seo Tellas and Jean-Francois Godin is starting in 12th.
The Orange Viking, Kmart, Knut Martinson in the Baker's Dozen spot. Odd Jonas Villeman in 14th.
Row 8, Patrick Kessler, Daniel Morris.
Row 9, filled up by Adam Tierney and Mark Usher. Whoa, what's Usher doing way back there?
The magic number 10. Chris Burgess, 19th. Evan M. Ray, 20th.
Talking about magic, how about the magic wand? Darren Potter in the blackjack position. Jonas Vastamaki in 22nd.
Little Stevie Chambers will start 23rd today. Andy Cowie starts 21st.
Little Bird Sarah Dove in the quarter century mark. Patrick Young back there in 26th.
27th, Alexander Waldo. Silvio Hurt going to start 28th.
3 drivers not putting in qualifying times. Christian to catch, not sure about that. Charlie Summers, we know about that one. And Jordy Lopez also back in 31st. Not sure if Jordy is actually here. He didn't put in a practice time or a qualifying time, so maybe the New Jersey driver is not going to be with us today. So let's say that there are 30 drivers entering here. We are still waiting for everybody to take their spots. 40 minutes to go. Here we go. 1 pit stop is expected. Round number 5 of the Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship. This series never fails to put on good races and great championship races as well that is often decided on the very last event. Right now, it's round number 5. The lights are up. You can hear the engine start to harmonize. Oscar Mangden sitting up on the pole position. Everybody gets a good jump. Mangden looks like he's going to be able to fend off Christian Koch. Koch now being challenged by Hugo Prado. Prado making a move as Prado will have the preferred position, but he backs out. And they continue to go 2 by 2 behind. In 4th position, Mittner loses a ton of time. He's going to give up that spot to, no, that's Mittner who gets it. Phil Reed lost a ton of time, drops back to 5th, Sean.
Just watching them all throughout the field here, trying to make it 3 wide on the back stretch. Darren Potter, and that makes Potter gets away actually from the attack of Jonas Vastamaki, who's on it hard here early.
Reed has more trouble up in front as he goes off, but he's able to gather it back in. Great fighting going on for 2nd position. This is letting our leader, Oscar Mangden, run away with it right now. Koch has got away. The real fight's going back for 3rd, 4th position now. Here comes Reed back on Mittner as they work through Aqua Minerale, and there goes Reed off into the stand. He's going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. He's trying to kind of come back. He tries to come back, and he collects another driver. Not sure who he got into. It's hidden behind a tree for me. We'll see who that is.
I'm getting it for you. I'm getting it for you now, Sue. Keep going, buddy.
Sean, see if you can find it because my point. Oh, it's Manuel Hoyer again having more first lap issues. Remember, he got into it. Well, actually, he didn't get into it. Charlie Summers got into the back of him last time out at Sonoma, and another bad first lap for Hoyer. We'll come back and give you a replay lap one a little bit later. Let me run down your top 5. Mangden, Koch, Prado, Mittner, and Osterkamp. Let's go. A good battle for 6th right now. As they are side by side, this is Holstein in that blue car is going to get just ahead now of Sudden Strike to Reich back in 7th. In fact, Reich is going to be challenged also by, that's Aesio Tellius trying to poke in there as well.
Well, that was a bit crazy there for that first lap, Sue.
Reed had no rhythm. He had no rhythm from the very beginning. He just couldn't seem to get in the groove. Then the car went off in the grass. Go ahead, Sean.
Usher, Tierney were side by side heading into Villeneuve there, and then they packed off. Tierney backs off just a bit, but intense. And it's a tense battle right behind them. Jonas Vastamaki still going at it with Chris Burgess right now. Burgess gets the better of it.
And I can report it looked like the Flying V, little Stevie Chambers, also had trouble. He's still out there, but the car was squiggly. As we look at Tierney right now.
Yeah, Stevie didn't make any contact, but he did have to. He got off track and took a moment to get back on. He finds himself all the way back at the back now.
Things are beginning to settle down up front.
No.
Let's go to Derike in 7th. Yeah.
Did you see that?
He just had an off, and he came right back in front of Aecio Tejas. I'm not sure if Tejas got into him or not. This is a great battle for 7th as Tejas is peaking, working both sides of the street like a jaywalking mailman, trying to see if he can find a way around Sudden Strike up there in 7th. And Tierney had a spin. And Canute is in there as well, but they weren't involved together. Those were separate spins. They both spin at the same place. You almost think there was oil on the track.
And Vastamaki and Jung also have trouble, Soup. All kinds of stuff. But I think that was at Variante Alta where they both got together.
Tierney able to get the spot back as we were watching it there. Now we're looking at Mittner and Prado. This is a battle up front. Prado racing in 4th. He qualified in 3rd, has dropped a spot. Mittner, who's just ahead of him, qualified 5th, is up 2 spots. One of those was Phil Reed, who I think Reed is long gone. Let's see if Reed is still racing with us. Double check on Phil as I see to do this alphabetically. Where are you, Phil? Oh, Phil's doing all right. Still back there in 15th spot. And Sean, we've seen it so many times that because the drivers know the sprint race is coming up next, you don't have to get discouraged. Yeah, you may not get the points you wanted in the feature, but you can still have a good day of it, as shown by what Charlie Summers did last time, winning that sprint race. Just get on the lead lap.
Well, there's a group here right now. You know, talked about Phil Reed just a moment ago. Just behind Phil Reed, Evan Imre, Adam Tierney, Canute Martinson, Christian Tkac, Charlie Summers, all 5 drivers line astern right now and really battling for the position in front of him. And it's right now it's a real challenge. They got the car on the edge to catch, exploring the boundaries of the track right there with Summers right behind him. Summers not sure what to do, but these 5 are really, I plan to see them mix it up here. Plenty of time left to go, obviously, Soup, but all of them driving like it's the last lap right now.
Some interesting things to watch back there. Tkac, of course, the defending champion. Not sure why he was so far back. He wasn't able to put in a qualifying time. He's back there with his partner, and now Derike has had a problem. Right in front of the... That was Aecio Tejas. And now on the outside is Godin, and Usher got collected in it. Oh, Mark Usher. Everyone got by. Usher really tried to split. Oh, you know what happened? He just got tapped a little bit by Morris. Watch this. This is Morris on the outside. Comes back in and just gets Usher's left rear and turns Usher into the wall. Oh, Mark must have thought he was through.
Yeah, and Godin gets by that unscathed, Soup. Close moment for him, but that gets him up to 7.
Just to follow up on my... Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. And then he spins it. Coming out of Alta. Able to hang on to it. But, man, right there, Aecio Tejas, right on his deck. They head down into the final set here. Ravazza 1 and now on to Ravazza 2.
Now, if you're watching at home, you think, oh, gee, Mark Usher has problems. But remember, again, the sprint race. Usher's still racing out there in 16th position. He can still get a good day of it. We have somebody coming in the pits. Oh, that's Aecio Tejas. Sean, I think this is too early. That has to be for damage.
Yeah, it is. Heavy wing damage on the right. The whole wing, actually. Pretty banged up.
Now, let me go ahead and finish this point one more time. We go back to 15th position. Charlie Summers back here racing right now. He's just ahead of his teammate Christian Tkac. Both those guys racing for Red Devil Racing. Just ahead of him. This is Canute Martinson and then Mark Usher. So keep these names remembered here. Usher, Summers, and Tkac are all going to be up front when we invert the grid, assuming they can bring it home.
Ah, yes, got to bring it home. That's right, Sue. We forgot about that, didn't we?
And now that Summers got off into the sand, and he loops it around in front of to catch his partner. He's going to get it back out. Doesn't hit anything, but boy, he loses a ton of positions as he's going to file out in about 20th position, just ahead of Alexander Baldwin.
Yeah, he loses it coming out of Villeneuve there, and lucky to not get any damage, but got to let a lot of cars by before he's able to get back on track.
So we come back live looking at Summers, and now he is in 20th position. What's going on up front, you may ask? Well, Oscar Magnan has gone wire to wire so far. 1.7 second lead over Christian Koch. Mikhail Mittner back there in third, not challenged as well. Hugo Prado running in fourth. And then in that, what Sean likes to call the SimRC yellow Swiss cheese machine, back there of Renault Osterkamp. Really nobody challenging up there much. Everybody's separated by about the same distance. In fact, you go all the way back to 6th position of Holstein.
Well, Burgess challenging Willman right now, trying to take spot. Going out of into this chicane. Tamburello going to be kind to him because he's going to walk out with that spot. Burgess up to 10th. Soup already up 9 spots.
And the car back there, the red car in the back, that is Phil Reed watching the whole thing back there now. Reed looking for a way around. He's going to get it. As Vilman goes a little bit wide, Reed's going to get that position. Remember, Reed qualified in 4th position, had a couple offs, lost a ton of time, trying to make his way back up now. He's back up to 11th. He's got about 0.8 of a second to get up to Chris Burgess. Oh, and the blue car behind is Usher right ahead of Knut Martinson. So he loses it. Tkach goes by. So does Lopez.
Knut just gets by that. Watch this, Sue. I mean, he just misses this.
Whoa! We're going to go on board with the Orange Viking right now. Kmart will have a good view of this one. There you see him. He makes the right decision to go to the outside. Oh, and Usher just clears off. The car just swipes away fast enough. But meanwhile, Usher now back to 19th position, just ahead of Ty McLeod. Sean, I love the AOR. Here we are, Ty McLeod back in 20th position. It was the other race just a week ago. Ty was fighting for a podium position. Look at this now. That's Ty making the move. He's on the outside of the blue car of Usher. Not sure how healthy Usher's car is right now. Yeah, look, you can see that the wing in the back is damaged, and McLeod is going to get that pass made. All right, let's go to P2. This is Koch being challenged. Prado has been able to run him down. And actually, Mittner is up there. Koch is back in third. We'll double check and make sure. Koch was racing in 7th. Oh, he had a little bit of an off, just a few corners back. That's what cost him that one.
Yeah.
And right now, you see now, he's fighting back, but it looks like Prado's going to be able to get that done. So move Prado into third, and the mistake from Koch drops him back to 4th.
Yeah.
Here comes the replay, Sean.
He was wide on the exit of Villeneuve. See him, he gets those curbs right there, upsets the car, screws up his exit totally, runs it out wide, and that's what, killed his momentum there.
And we saw that this is real similar to what we saw at Sonoma last time, where there you see him going off into the sand. Passing was hard up front. It was just a matter of a mistake that was made by Holstein that cost him the win, gave it to Osterkamp. We're seeing that again right now. Magnan out in front by 3.8 seconds. Now Koch coming in. This could be in the window.
Well, a wing damage on Koch's machine. I don't think he had much of a choice, but Soup, I think we're good right now. I think he can get this done with this stop.
Unfortunately, though, with the competition as close as it is, there's no way to come in and get those repairs done without it costing you 5 or 6 seconds. And basically, that takes you out of any chance of winning. I mean, when you're racing guys like Oscar Magnan and Mikhail Mittner, a long pit stop's going to be horrible.
Charlie Summers trying to get this position from Darren Potter right now, get himself into 15th. Potter looking to fight back. does not. He gets through Tamburello clean, but it's Charlie Summers up another spot already. Soup, he's up 15 into 15th.
Yeah, he's been there before. He's had problems where he's fallen back. Remember, he was in that same battle with Tkach. Tkach is up to 12th. Hey, let's go back to 14th position here. Actually, let's go to 13th. There's a pass being made. This is Knut Martinsen on Christian Tkach. Boy, Tkach off his game today. Does not like this Italian track. The Orange Viking trying to look. He's in that three-car mix. Here come watching the whole thing from the popcorn position. That's Jordi Lopez. I wanted to talk about Lopez. I wasn't sure if he was going to take the grid as we watch Martinsen make the pass on Tkach. Jordi Lopez started to the back. He's right there again, right next to Tkach. Would like to get that spot back. Look at Lopez trying to find a way around of Tkach. They work through Alta right now, through the Alta chicane. Now they'll be on the gas, going down into this double left-hander. That is Rabasa. It's almost one corner. They call it 14 and 15. Go ahead, Sean.
Soup battle for third. Osterkamp, Prado, down into Tamburello. Ooh, boy. Gonna be Prado. Oh, Osterkamp gonna get it and able to hold him off.
Yeah, and Osterkamp had made that pass. We're gonna look at this on replay, see if we can get it.
Yeah, it started on the straightaway across the start-finish line, and Osterkamp steps out.
There you see the yellow car. Took him a while, but he was able to close the deal. Move him up to third now. He's behind Michael Mittner and Oscar Magnan running 1 and 2. No battle up there. Let's report that Christian Koch was in and out of a time of 8.4 seconds in the box. 42 seconds from cone to cone. 8.4. That's about double the time in the box that you'd like. That's what the repairs will cost you.
That's what that nose change will cost you indeed, Soup, and that's going to be a tough one to swallow. Best he can hope for right now, just try and stay on the lead lap.
Tkach has made a stop as well. He's in and out and running in 23rd position. Still behind Koch, though. Koch still the leaders of all the cars who've pitted, running in 20th position. Back there with some of the, I don't want to call them back markers, but guys who we usually see a long way from the front. Racing back there was Alexander Baldo right now. All this going on behind Oscar Magnan, who has a 4-second lead over Michael Mittner.
Another mistake by Charlie Summers, Soup. I believe he made contact with that one.
And as we talk right now, Mark Usher goes around him. Those are two drivers just trying to stay on the lead lap and see if they can stay out of trouble. Something that so far they haven't been able to do. As we ride on board with Charlie right now.
Yeah, he's just gonna miss. He's gonna miss the chicane up here. Gets in too hot and just not able to correct it. You'll see what happens. He's gonna make contact. Hits that curb, goes over and forces him in there and bangs up his wing.
Charlie has brought it into the pits, and you got to start to wonder about incident points for the amount of time. That's contact. That'll rack him up. That's a 4, isn't it, Sean? If you hit it, that's an automatic 4, right? Not to mention all the other times he's been off the track and looped it around. And Stevie Chambers in. In fact, Chambers not in the car. Christian Koch still the leaders of all the cars who have pitted. Oscar Magnan still leaders of everybody, as the top 18 have yet to come in. Andy Cowie, the last in line, the milkman back there, racing all by himself in 18th position. Most of the battles, most of the excitement has been the mid-packers.
Yeah, it really has, Soup. Agreed. Been some really, really interesting battles. One of them right now, not necessarily mid-pack, but Kessler and Daniel Morris. Morris keeping pretty decent pace with Kessler. Both of them have really come up from that middle of the field that we're talking about, so they have been through the battles here early. But Soup, we're almost to the halfway point, and we're probably getting into that window now. We're going to probably see a few more guys start to think about coming in, set themselves up for the finish of this race.
We've talked about the runners up front. Let's go to 5th position. We haven't talked much about these guys kind of in the middle here. You just talked about Kessler and Morris. How about Holstein and Godin? Holstein running in 5th position. Jean-Francois Godin running in 6th. There's really nobody around them right now. They're out there all by themselves. And let's get some love to the driver currently racing in 12th position. Wasn't sure if he was going to take the grid. He's from New Jersey. As he's off in the sand, of course, I'm talking about Jordi Lopez. My goodness, the guy qualified, well, actually didn't qualify. He had to grid from 31st position up to 12th. He's our hard charger.
Yeah, it's a pretty good run. Yeah, this is a tough track to make up ground on, Soup. It's so fast. It's you know, got a number of challenges to it. But if you can get away from somebody, as we've seen what Oscar Mangan's already done to his competition, you've got a lot of room to run. It takes a while to catch the back of the pack, which Oscar Mangan still has not managed to do. Patrick Jung hanging on to the lead lap right now.
As we ride on board off the tail of Rene Oosterkamp, you can see the car behind him of Hugo Prado going a little bit off there as he's trying to run him down. This is Oosterkamp running in 3rd, Prado running in 4th. Prado with a pretty good toe here. As they work their way through Tamburello now, coming down the straight, they're going to be heading into the Villeneuve chicane. Kind of quick left rider. Meanwhile, Morris has come in. Daniel was racing when he came up near the top 10.
Yep, Mark Usher's in too. Usher just comes down.
Now, Morris is rolling. The question is, where is he? The guy we were looking at is Koch, and he's still... Oh, no, Koch has got by him. So Koch is long gone, well out in front now. So he remains the leader of all the cars who've pitted, even with that long pit stop of 8.4 seconds. Christian able to be out there. Oh, the magic wand has spun.
Oh, certainly has. Boy, a lot of trouble out of Villeneuve today.
Just out of Villeneuve, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to lose a spot to Emre. And I wanted to go back. I was just going to go back and talk about Potter. He was having a nice run. He was running in 12th position. Yeah, he had yet to make his stop, but now he drops back into 15th. Once again, behind Christian Koch. Of course, Potter hasn't made a stop yet. Of all the cars who have pitted, it's Koch, Daniel Morris running 2nd, and Christian to catch. But Koch is well out in front of all those guys. Let's go to 2nd position. This is Mittner. Oh, I apologize. I thought it was a battle, but he just got around Jonas Vastamaki there. That's Vastamaki in 26th position. We're looking, there's Vastamaki. Now, right behind Vastamaki, here comes the guy. That's Oosterkamp and Prado. Maybe stay on this for a minute, and we'll see if Vastamaki plays a factor in this battle between Oosterkamp and Prado. Vastamaki, new to the series, but from what I can see, he's very good at getting out of the way and does a nice job of letting Oosterkamp by. And now, Prado will just have to wait his turn. And really, there's nowhere for Vastamaki to put that car right now, so we ride on board with Hugo. Oh, now he's got by him. There, he's made the pass. So there we have Prado now, and then we're looking at Vastamaki. Sarah Dove had an issue. It looked like, where was that? Was that in Alta? Just looped it around.
Yeah, it was an Alta, and it misses the entry just a little bit, Soup, and of course you miss the entry, you're going to have trouble with the exit, and Sarah does, gets it spun around, but still in good shape. The car is straight.
Right in front of Oosterkamp and Prado. They get around without an issue. Dove tucks back in behind now, racing in 26. She'll be battling Vastamaki, assuming that they are both on the same pit strategy. Vastamaki's already made his pit, as Sarah Dove has well. So they are racing for position. And even though they're a lap down, they have a good chance of getting that lap back because the leaders have yet to come in. Top 13 yet to pit. Last car of that is Evan Emre, run position.
Yeah, and he's really being hounded by Koch right now. Koch In fact, Koch just pulling off that pass.
And while that is a pass for position, it really
Emre
isn't, because Koch has already made that stop. Now Emre comes in.
And Lopez is in also there, Sue.
Now Lopez, I would think, might have a chance to get out in front of Koch. Let's see. Lopez is rolling. Oh my goodness, Lopez had an 11-second stop. And nope, Koch is by. I know you guys are watching at home. You're saying, why are you paying so much attention to Christian Koch? Well, that's what my dad used to say, the early peel, late reveal. Those guys can sneak up on you. He is 42 seconds, though, behind the leaders right now. I think it's a pretty safe bet that Mangan's going to be able to get in and out, and Mittner. Koch might be looking at maybe jumping somebody like Holstein or Godin, racing in 6th and 7th. Let's go to 9th. And just going off, this is Chris Burgess. Villman just got around, and Burgess back in 10th position, just had it off. And Sean, you mentioned a little bit about Burgess. He's having a good race. Chris, of course, racing in 10th. There it is.
Yeah, not a bad effort here so far. Put in some really, really good laps. The car looks good.
36 seconds back of the leaders, working his way through Ravazza right now.
I mean, I don't know what more you can ask for right now. You're in the top 10. You're past the halfway point of the race. All you've got to do basically right now is just nail a perfect pit stop. Easy for me to say.
We have 11 cars yet to pit. Now the last one is Adam Tierney. We haven't talked much about Tierney. In fact, they're racing all by himself in 11th.
Hey,
behind Burgess and Millman.
Not a bad place to be. Nothing wrong with that.
Looking for a battle of our guys up front, and honestly, there really isn't one. Let's go to, let's go to 26th position. This is going to be fun. This is Vastamaki. In the middle is the little bird Star Dove. And then back there is Mark Usher. Now, Usher, remember, had a lot of trouble. He was in for a pit stop. That was a long stop. Usher's stop was, well, about 37 seconds in the box. A minute 13 from cone to cone. But he's still looking. He still has a chance to finish on the lead lap. Maybe. All right, now here comes the first big name that's coming in, pitting from 3rd position. In the Swiss cheese machine, it is René Oosterkamp. I don't remember René having any trouble. I would imagine this will be a quick stop. Koch is just heading towards, going through 13, heading towards Mirage right now.
More trouble out on track at Charlie Summers.
Again?
Spinning again. Boy, he had trouble right in front of, who was that? He was Darren Potter, right behind him, and Potter also spins. It was a twofer deal. It looks like it was coming out of Villeneuve. You can see them both spin. Maybe that was Potter reacting to what was going on, but nonetheless, they both get off track and take a while to get going again. More spots lost for that duo.
Let's go to Oosterkamp real quick, because I can report that he got out in front of Koch, and he really got good news. He got out just in front of Chris Burgess and Jonas Villman back there racing still for 9th and 10th. That could have really have cost him some slow times if he was stuck behind those guys. He got a good break there, so he's going to be able to put in a fast lap. That's going to put the pressure on Prado. Remember, Hugo Prado, currently racing in 3rd position, was trying to get that spot. He was about, maybe 7 or 8 car lengths behind Oosterkamp when Oosterkamp decided to come in. Prado right now working through Ravazza. Let's see if he decides to come in. No, he does not.
Yeah, Michael Mittner does.
But Mittner has from running from 2nd.
Yeah, he's on his way. Execution so important here.
So while he comes in, where is Oosterkamp? Oosterkamp just getting into Ravazza right now. He has to negotiate 14 and 15. Meanwhile, these stops are so fast. Mittner has yet to get to his box, though. He's a long road. It's a long exit here. Is Mittner beginning to roll? Is he going to get out in front of Osterkamp? Mittner now can get on the gas. Osterkamp is coming full song. Mittner is out in front. It's about 9/10 of a second, 7/10 of a second, 6/10 of a second. Here comes that yellow switch cheese machine right behind him. Well, Osterkamp wasn't able to make the pass, but I think he picked up some time. So those guys currently race in 6th and 7th. The 5 cars ahead of them yet to pit in reverse order: Martinson, Kessler, Hosting, Prado, and our race leader, Oscar Mangan. Wondering about Koch, we've talked about him. He's in 3rd position of all the cars who have pitted. We talked about Jordi Lopez. He's about 8th or 9th of the cars that have pitted.
Soup to Catch just picks up another spot, gets by Alexander Waldo, who does still have to pit. Waldo still needs to come in. Oscar Mangan coming in, Soup.
So Prado, I was going to say, so Prado inherits the lead, but that's not the case, as Hugo has decided to come in as well, as does Christoph Holstein. So now, where's Mittner? Well, just getting into 14. 15 is Ravassa. He'll be on the throttle. And now he's got the skinny pedal down. It is full song. Meanwhile, Mangden goes by the pace car. Just about ready to gas it up. And it looks like also Prado is out, but Mittner's going to get Prado. Osterkamp is going to get Prado. But Mangan well out in front. Prado out in 4th. Holstein in 5th. Just ahead of Christian Koch. Good battle for 5th position right now. And look at that as we look at Osterkamp in 3rd.
Man, Jordi Lopez just put a move on Jonas Villman. I'm telling you, it was a good one. It was back in...
Andy Cowie, right about 10 seconds ago, noses it into the wall. Andy was still on the lead lap.
Oh. Yeah, and he had to tow from there, Soup. That's a shame.
Yeah. Well, look at it here. Here's the milkman. Not able to deliver the goods today. And that'll be that's the end of his day. And unfortunately, he was racing on the lead lap, I even mentioned, so he's going to be back. He'll have to start from the back here. We'll stay on this one, and we'll watch that Formula Renault loop around. He gets it off, and he tries to correct. A little bit of Soup overcorrection. I've been there. All right, let's take a break and breath and run down your top 10. Out ahead by 5 seconds, it is Oscar Mangan, with basically a wire-to-wire run right now. Michael Mittner in 2nd, but he is being challenged by Rene Osterkamp. I expect that to heat up here over the next 9 minutes of racing. 4th position, he lost a lot of time in the pit stop. That is Hugo Prado. And then it's quite a while back before we get to Christian Koch. And it looks like Koch was able to get around, sure enough. Holstein got out in front of him. Koch able to get that spot, move Koch up to 5th. Holstein back to 6th. Then a guy having a very quiet run and still in the hunt for a championship, Jean-Francois Godin back there in 7th. Another quiet run from Daniel Morris in 8th. About 5 seconds back to get to Patrick Kessler running in 9th. And again, no pressure from the 10th place driver, Christian to catch. So there's your top 10.
Well, Soup, if you go just outside the top 10, for everything to catch is done, Jordi Lopez is on his way. There's only just under 8 minutes left. I don't know if he's got enough time, but he is really one of the fastest cars on track right now. Jordi's picked up a lot of spots, and he's not done yet.
Let's go to 14th. This is a really good battle. The car out in front, this is Chris Burgess. They're beginning to run him down. That's Odd Jonas Villman, but the guy who's really on the move, that's Ty McLeod. Watch McLeod down there in that black car making the move on the inside of the blue car. And he gets Villman taken care of. So move McLeod up now to 15th. And he's not done, as he's going to try to run down Burgess in 14th.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of the same thing Jordi Lopez did, kind of worked on it a little bit and made his way through Villman and then got through Burgess. Again, though, Lopez just up in front of all that, having a great run and still stepping away. McLeod got to be careful, got that car off into no man's land there, got a little loose off.
Yeah. Take a quick look at P2 here. This is Michael Mittner. This is probably the closest battle inside the top 10. And I use the term battle loosely here, as Osterkamp is just back there kind of racing behind Mittner right now. Mangan comfortably out in front by 5 seconds. Mittner and Osterkamp. Let's go away from this one for just a second, because I want to go back to currently in 20th position. Sean, I bet you know why I want to talk about the guy in 20th. You see who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Mark Usher. Yeah, back there in 20th, Soup. He is, well, let's see. He's Ravazza 1 and Ravazza 2 and a start-finish line away from being caught by the leader, Oscar Mangan, right now. So, yeah, Mark's got about just under 6 minutes to hang on to that spot.
And if he can come back, remember he had that repairs. He was in there for a long, long time having repairs made. In fact, I forgot what it was, 37 seconds, a minute 13 cone to cone. Right now, his goal is to just stay on the lead lap as we go to P2. And sure enough, this is Mittner. And look at this, Osterkamp back there in the yellow car has ran him down. As they work their way now, they go into Villeneuve. Villeneuve is a tricky chicane. It's a left-righter, and it's kind of fast. You can run a little bit wide. Then up into Tosa, where you got to get on the binders, the sharp left-hander. Then you're back on the gas again. Into Paratella, this left-hander coming up.
Yeah, that left-hander is so tricky, Sue. And then you're downhill here.
This is, for me, I have no chance of ever getting this. This is Aqua Minerale. I've never gotten that corner right yet. Then another chicane through Alta. This is a little sharper right left-hander. Then they call 13 a corner. It's really not much. It's kind of a right hand, a little bend here. And then down into, for me, I consider it one corner. It's this 14-15 here combination. It's really two corners. It's not a double apex, but two left-handers. And now they're back on the gas, full song. And the start-finish line is real close. It's not where you think it is. It's right there. You still have all these grid markers to go through. They put that in just to make lead commentators look foolish, trying to call a battle after it's over.
Well, you know, I know a lot of the battles up front are not as close as they were. There's still a good one back here in the field, mid-pack, 14th, 15th. Chris Burgess and Ty McLeod. McLeod still slugging it out, Soup. But Burgess keeps winning the battles as they head down into Ravazza 1 now, and they'll come out of turn 15, Ravazza 2.
Well, it's good to get back to that one, because that's the one we were talking about there. It's nice we can put a final chapter on it. McLeod was able to get around Villeman, and now he had a long way to go to get to Burgess, and now he's going to get this spot. Look at on this run here. That's the preferred spot to be, where McLeod is going right there on the inside as they head down into the first corner. Oh, and we're going to show you a replay of Phil Reed. And Sean, this is something we get to see. We call it going into the void.
Yeah. Phil just exceeded that incident limit, and he's gone.
Now, if you're not familiar with iRacing, you know that you're on the border there, because they show you your incident cap, or they show you where you are. We can't see it, but the driver in the cockpit knows where he is.
Yeah. Boy, that's tough.
Looking that maybe Godin has had a problem. I see that Tierney has had a spin. Looking to see a report on Godin. I don't see anything.
Adams was harmless. It was just him, and he was able to get back on track. It was out of Villeneuve.
Now we're looking here at Godin, running in 7th. Are we on replay here, or are we watching this live? This is live we're looking at. Okay. And so Godin now is being challenged by Holstein. Now the yellow car back there, that's Jung. He's a lap down. He doesn't really count. So a battle of Godin in 6th, Holstein in 7th. There's also a battle, Mittner in 2nd. That one's getting pretty close as well. We can stay on this one for now as we look at Holstein. Holstein, remember, had that 2nd place finish last time out in the feature race at Sonoma, then had a horrible sprint race, wasn't able to follow up that good first result. With 1 minute to go, this is all going on behind Oscar Mangan, who just got around Jonas Vastamaki. So that's bad news for Jonas. That's going to cost him about 21 positions when it's time to grid up for the sprint race. You could have been on pole, and the white flag is out. And with Phil Reed blinking away on my timing and scoring, I believe that makes the car last on the lead lap of Mark Usher. About 1:33 behind the leader with a lap time of 1:39. I think Usher's pretty safe right now as he battles in 19th position. As we look at our leader, not sure if it was a complete wire-to-wire, as he might have given up the lead during pit stops, but I don't think so. I think he ran it long enough. I think when we look back at this one, it will be a wire-to-wire for Oscar Mangan.
What a run for Mangan today here at Imola. Now, can he drive through traffic? That's what we got to find out.
Go back, the battle for 2nd is not heating up at all. I think Minter's going to be able to carefully bring that one home. And Godin, that battle has not heated up as well with Holstein back there. Really not much to look at. As our leader working his way through the Alta chicane, really with just 2 left-handers to go to bring this thing home. Oscar is known to many of the drivers, new to this commentator before this season, but has been racing now in Season 6 full time. As he works his way through 15 now, our winner of the sprint race, our feature race, goes to Oscar Mangan. Sean, who you got?
No, I'm sorry, I was off pace here. Sorry. They've still got to go around one more lap, actually. Waldo and Usher are going to be slugging it out for this entire lap.
Well, I don't see a real battle here anywhere between that one. Let's look at Holstein and Godin. Is this a battle? No, it looks like Godin's comfortable. See if we can find any battle out on the track that we can follow for you guys that we haven't given much love to. Sean, who you got?
No, it's the one between Waldo and Usher. This is for 18th spot right now. Waldo's got the advantage, but Usher...
This is for not sitting on the pole. Now, these are for points as it pays down to 20, so these are points for Usher and Waldo. But this is the battle to not be last on the lead lap right now. And it'll be a battle of who starts inside of who on the lead lap, on the front row. Let's see if we can find them. Where are they? They're just coming into Alta right now, so they'll have this little left-right. Now, there is enough time. Let's stay on this battle for a while. There is enough time out of 15, Ravassa, for Usher to get a run and make the pass before the start-finish line if he wants.
Yeah, I'm looking to see him get a run down the hill here, and he gets it. Is he going to attack?
This is the case. Do I want this point and then have to worry about getting around you on the grid? If I know Mark Usher, he'll want anything he can. But here they come. Start-finish line coming up. I don't think that blue car is going to be able to get there. So let's give 18th position to Alexander Valdo. And 19th, the last car on the lead lap, to Mark Usher. And we'll be seeing him on pole when we come back for the sprint race. Now, as always, I have to say this. Remember, folks, the best part of any doubleheader is the break between events. It's that perfect blend of a post-race high and a pre-race jitters. What we're going to do right now on the Global Sim Racing channel is take a short break, but we'll be back between events to talk to some of the drivers and run down the complete finishing order of the feature race. Don't go far. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, Round 5 from Imola. Time to run down the finishing order of the feature race that we just concluded here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Hey, I'm calling it wire to wire. I wasn't able to check to see if it was, but it was virtually wire to wire. And of course, Oscar Magnan, and we get the official, it was wire to wire. Michael Mittner coming in second position. Rene Osterkamp made a run at Mittner, was not able to get around him, but he's going to get third place points. Welcome back to the series, Hugo Prado, fourth position for him. Christian Koch had that horrible pit stop, had a pretty good run as he's going to get a top 5. Jean-Francois Godin, Christoph Holstein, Daniel Morris, Patrick Kessler, and Christian Tkach round out your top 10. Sean?
All right, let's do the next 10. Knut Martinsen with an 11th place finish today. Jordi Lopez, man, he was digging up to 12th. He'll finish 13th for Ty McLeod. Chris Burgess, 14th today. Jonas Willman will be 15th. Adam Tierney, 16th. Evan Imre, 17th. Alexander Waldo, 18th. And Soup, Mark Usher will be your pole sitter for the sprint race. He'll finish 19th. And Yunus Vastamaki, he's going to have to start behind all of that, a lap down the first car.
Only by a few seconds, too. Just a few corners, and Yunus could have got that pole position. Instead, the poor guy has to start 20 spots back. He's going to be just in front of Patrick Jun, who came in the blackjack position. Silvio Hurt and Phil Reed, who blinked away. Reed gets 23rd. The Magic Wand, Derek Potter, and the Milkman, Andy Cowie, go 24th and 25th. Little Bird, Sarah Dove. My God, do I have nicknames for everybody back here? In 26th position. Charlie, don't call me Andy Summers. Andy Summers, of course, the guitar player for the Police. Charlie Summers, a very fast driver, but today, 27th position. Stevie Flying V, Little Flying V, Stevie Chambers back there in 16th position. Aisio Tellis, 29th, not the race he wanted. Lawrence Sudden Strike to Right qualified in 9th, going to finish in 30th. And the last car out there, another bad first lap for Manuel Hoyer, as he's going to claim his second consecutive last place finish in a feature event. Okay, we look up here to see if we have anybody in interviews to talk to yet. Not quite yet, Sean, but we'll fill for just a minute. Well, we talked about Mark Usher being on pole, but the guy that I want to watch in the sprint race is a guy that we've had our eye on for quite a while. He's going to be starting, if I count back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th position. Of course, I'm talking about the New Jersey driver, Jordi Lopez Jr. He should be fun to watch from that position.
Well, I mean, he made up a lot of spots from, where he finished. I mean, he started this race at the end of the field, Soup, and finishes 12th. Now he'll restart this race kind of in the thick of it in the middle. So he gets to basically pick up where he just left off. But the advantage is he's going to get to do it on a fresh start, fresh tires. And Soup, we're not going to need a pit stop during this race and in this sprint. It's all out, and if it's an all-out scenario, I kind of like what Jordy's doing today, and he is definitely going to be fun to watch. He's going to have a lot of great drivers to get through, though.
Well, what's interesting,
get to the front.
Yeah, he's going to start behind guys like Ty McLeod, Chris Burgess, Odd Joseph Villman, but those are the same guys we watched him pass in the feature race to get to where he is. So he did it before. He's going to get to do it again. At least he knows how to get around these guys because he's passed them already once. I want to watch. We'll do our best to try to watch Oscar Mangan in this sprint race. He's going to start way back in 19th position, but boy, he was fast. He's got Michael Mittner and Rene Osterkamp in front of him, Hugo Prado and Christian Koch ahead of him. Those 5 guys are going to have to really work hard to get through because passing was sure tough here today, Sean. And it looks like still nobody yet to talk to.
Yeah, and, the key for Oscar is going to be, staying out of trouble getting through the traffic. He didn't have to really deal with that in the feature race. So a lot less time to get it done. As we've seen in these sprint races before, Soup, it's going to be a little crazy when we get started. That opening lap was, let's just say there was a lot of attrition in that opening lap in the feature race.
Yeah, we got a piece of it. Before we leave here, it will be interesting now. If you haven't seen one of these sprint races before, what is interesting to watch out? When we have a feature race, the cars tend to stretch out because the faster guys are in front, the slower guys in the back. That's not going to be the case today, as that first lap, they're going to stay bunched up the entire time. Okay, what we want to do right now is go to break. That way, our director, Amjad Yaman, can get us all his ducks in a row, and we can come back and bring you the 25-minute sprint race that's going to be starting up in just a few minutes. So, don't go far away. We'll be right back. Thanks to the properties of the noble gas law, we float once again high above the beautiful Italian countryside, looking down at Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari. And of course, this is the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Apex Online Racing's Formula 2.0 Championship. It's round number 5 and the feature race is in the book. And now, Sean, we turn our attention to the always exciting 25-minute sprint race with the inverted grid. Tell us a little bit of what's coming up.
Did you say always exciting?
It is always exciting.
It's always exciting, indeed. Well, Sue, we've got a 25-minute race on our hands here. Okay, then no pit stop going to be needed here. We are inverting the feature race results for this grid today. Lap down cars, of course, are going to be at the back of the very back of the grid. Incident caps a little bit less here. 12. We did see a disqualification, so going to have to be careful. Points, a little bit less points given here to the field for the sprint race. But Sue, you know what? It's not so much about the points as well. It is about the points, but it's the win. It's the thrill of victory. It's being able to drive through the field. For someone like Jordi Lopez, can he pull that off today? Drive through this field, get back up, and get himself a podium finish. It's really that's what makes this sprint race so much fun. Is you've got some really fast drivers, have a long way to go, and well, half the time that they had from the feature race to get it done, and it always is a scurry in this first lap. I can imagine it's going to be very exciting. I talked about it before. The opening lap of the feature race was kind of scary for a lot of drivers. So the sprint race, it's going to be amped up. Everybody's going to be time to 11. Everybody's going to have it turned to 11, Soup. Not 10, but to 11.
Turn it up to 11.
Yeah, and it's going to be frantic. Our heads will be on a swivel, and Amjad Yaman will be busy there in the chair bookmarking stuff for us.
One of the things we talk about, one of the features in the Countdown to the Green Pre-Race show that we have is where we show you the overall points leaders from the previous race. And remember, they get credit for a win. This is a chance for Mark Usher to pick up a win. He's going to be starting on the pole. He finished 19th. That's probably worth 1 or 2 points if I remember right on the scoring system, as it pays down to 20th in the feature. But he can go ahead and at least end his day with a win. But you don't necessarily need to get a win here to be the big winner for the day, and that's something that the guys at the back, like Michael Mittner and Osterkamp, they didn't get the win, of course, as Manga got the win, but if those guys can put in another big scoring day, they can stay out of trouble, see if they can get themselves a top 5, maybe a podium. That's how you win yourself. That's how you win the day, and that's how you win the championship.
Yeah, I started to say it's not about the points. Consistency is a big deal in this format, and if you can just find yourself in the end of these races somewhere near the top, just outside the podium, top 5, you can pull it off consistently, Soup. It's a really great place to be.
But it's really interesting as a psychological, if you think about it in that kind of perspective. Usher, really, if he wins, it's still pretty much a bad day for him, but he'll at least go home with the last, it's like hitting your last shot on the basketball court. Yeah, you were 1 for 25 shooting, but you made your last one, so you can go home that way. And that's kind of how he feels right now, if he can pick up the win. We talked about guys to watch out for. Lopez was fast. He's going to start about 8th position, and then all the guys in the very back, Mittner, Osterkamp, Mangan going to make a run through. If they can just keep it clean, as we are just about ready to go here with about 30 more seconds of practice. The weather, Sean, carries over, right? So at least they know what they're in store for. Right.
We've got the exact same weather conditions we had previously. Soup, we had a lot of trouble in the turn 5 and turn 6, Villeneuve. Will we see that again here in the sprint race? I'm guessing we probably will. That seemed to be kind of an Achilles heel for most of the field.
And I would not be surprised if incidents didn't. You saw that it was 16 for the first race, the feature race. Only 12 here for this one. It's a little shorter. And we saw many drivers blink away last week, and we saw Phil Reed blink away here today. Let's go ahead and run down your starting order for you. We'll have to hustle through as we have to wait till the very end before where our timing and scoring is able to put it on the board, and our director is able to get it up for you to see. And we still wait for it, and there it is right now. So let's go ahead.
Boom.
We show you Mark Usher and Alexander Valdo on the front row. Sean?
Yes, sir. And then it's going to be Evan Imre, Adam Tierney on row 2.
Row 3, Jonas Villman and Chris Burgess.
Ty McLeod, Jordy Lopez, row 4.
Knut Martinson and Christian Tkach make up the next row.
Row 6, Patrick Kessler, Daniel Morris.
Baker's dozen spot, Christoph Holstein and Jean-Francois Godin.
All right, and row 8, Christian Koch, Hugo Prado.
Get back to the big names back here. Renee Osterkamp, Michael Mittner.
All right, Oscar Mangan, Eunice Fastamaki, row 10.
Mangan, your feature race winner. These guys all finished the lap down. Patrick Jung, Silvio Hurt.
Phil Reed, Darren Potter, 23rd and 24th.
25th and 26th, Andy Cowie and the Little Bird Sarda.
All right, row 14, CB Chambers, Acio Telus.
Lawrence Sutton, strike to right, Manuel Hoyer and Scott Newton round out your field. Good to see Scott in. I'm not sure he was in the feature race. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn. And it is no surprise to see Mark Usher lead the stampede down into Tamburello. Oh, we hear some bumping and banging in the back. I think we're relatively clean, though. A little bit of contact, just some nose-to-tail contact. So far, everybody's still on track.
Relatively. Phil Reed, big trouble for him. Could not get through Tamburello clean.
So big, we're looking at some of the fast drivers. One driver off. Oscar Mangan is off. And I think it was self-induced.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No.
He got a little bit of help.
As we're going to see, are we still live, director? There, I was back on. Oh yes, we will book or we'll come back to get it. And sure enough, Sean, you are right. He got turned into by Michael Mittner.
Got hip checked. Literally hip checked.
Oh, and Mittner now gets another one as he gets into the back of Christian Koch. The battling in the back is really aggressive between the big names.
Well, now to be fair, Koch got checked up by Renee Osterkamp just a bit.
Let's go. Oh, we have another one off. This is Daniel Morris. It was 3 wide. He goes loose. There is a lot of yelling and shouting out there. Some of the big names are going through. We'll try to get back up front and cover the action up there. I'm working my way up through the back. Let's go to 14th real quick, director, if you can. This is Prado in a battle with Patrick Kessler. As they head down the main straight, Kessler's going to be on the third position. Prado on the outside as they work their way into Tamburello. Let's see if Kessler forces the issue. Coming up from behind, getting a big toe. This is Jean-Francois Godin. Going to try to make it 3 wide. There's not enough track out there, and the first Canadian puts it off into the Italian alfalfa, but brings it back right in front of Michael Mittner.
Oh, big trouble at Tamburello.
It's Jung who got into the back of Vastamaki, but that was because of Osterkamp was in the mix.
It was Vastamaki that missed the entry to the turn and then slid across, and everybody gets into him along the way. Oh, that was so tough. A lot of cars out here rolling with damaged soup.
Yeah, Osterkamp got a nose full of that one as well. Stevie Chambers made it around. Now we're going to go back to the Mangan replay. And this is, Sean called it best when he said it was a hip check. If you're a hockey fan,
yeah,
just put him in the boards. Mangan will be on your screen right. Mittner,
ouch.
Ouch.
Excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
Okay, let's catch our breath for a second and see if we can give you our leaders. Our timing and scoring is going to be a little bit off. Mark Usher, he's showing in second. That's because somebody's taken a toe back. He is your actual leader right now. Running second, showing third, Evan Imre and Ty McLeod. And now our timing is still a little bit behind. Next 2 cars, Christian Tkach and Adam Tierney. That's a battle for 4th and 5th. Let's drop back a little bit. Villman under challenged by Knut Martinson now in a battle for 6th. Sean, I'm looking for the guy we picked as a I would expect to see. It looks like Jordi Lopez must have picked up some problems somewhere, huh?
He did. Jordi got behind a lot of that carnage, and it's got him down 7 spots.
He's in 15th there, looking at Stevie Chambers.
Now, Darren Potter is taking advantage of early misfortune by other drivers. He's up 13 spots already, and Potter is all over Michael Mittner right now.
Let's go to 6. This was a real good battle. Villeman out of front of the Orange Viking, Knut Martinsen. Kmart back there trying to make a move, looking all around. Watching from the popcorn position is Patrick Kessler. But I guess in what we'll call the double popcorn position is Jean-Francois Godin. Now, Martinsen had trouble through that corner, and that's going to give Kessler a chance as they work down into Alta, the chicane. Kessler right behind. Oh, my goodness. On Martinsen like a postage stamp, but now he loses momentum. That's going to let Godin have a run. They've lost touch with Villeman. Villeman is long gone. Here comes the move now, as he's going to have to do it on the top side. That's Kessler. Again, there's no room. He has to check up. Now they'll get this. Now a chance for a toe, but Godin gets loose coming out of Rabassa. Let's stay on this a minute. Let's see if Kessler forces the issue here on Martinsen. Coming in, he's got a good run. Martinsen takes a defensive line. That's going to force Kessler around the outside as they come in to Tamburello. Now this is like a triple chicane. I think Kessler drops back trying to hope to do a little hokey-doke, a little up and under, a little dip-de-doo. Not going to do it, and that battle seems to settle down for 7th.
Soup, Jordi Lopez trying to get around Darren Potter right now. This is intense. They just got through Tamburello, heading down now to Villeneuve, and scrambling. Potter doing his best job of playing defense.
And I think you might have saw on the top of your screen there from that long Dougie Beard camera shot, you might have saw a glimpse of Hugo Prado getting around Michael Mittner as we continue to ride on Potter. Boy, there's some real arguing going on there from some people.
Jordi not very, very happy right now. He is, like I said, trying to get around Darren Potter, and Potter not having any of it. Stevie Chambers hounding Lopez.
I think he said, "Would you give me a break?" If I could think that's what came across there. Good battling going on. It's tough. Let's jump to 8th position. This is Kessler now. He's back. Jean-Francois Godin trying to make a move. He's got to run. Boy, Kessler is going to go move to the right side of the track. He's going to leave the inside open for Godin. Godin gets it done through 14. Give that position to Godin. He moves up into 8th position now. I know we're not covering up front much, but the battling mid-pack has been something else. Including, Sean, the one you've been watching, Potter and Lopez. Lopez has a run on him now. Let's see if he forces the issue. Potter taking the defensive line.
Yeah, Lopez tried to force the issue back in Rabassa. Is he going to do it here? I don't know. Oh, man.
Lopez dives it. Look at that run. Dives it in deep. Can he get it wound up? What a pass. My goodness.
Lights him up and makes the pass. Wow, what a great move there by Jordi Lopez. Here comes Potter, though, fighting back. Ooh.
I think now that Lopez has got around him, he can get his rhythm and keep the car, and he gets this. Let's go up to P3 right now. This is Tierney in a battle with Tkach. Tkach has been chasing him. Tierney trying to fend off Tkach. This is a battle for 3rd. They have a little bit of gap before Ty McLeod gets into the mix. These guys are well behind Adam Emery, about 2 seconds back of them per second. That's Tierney as we ride on board with Tkach, looking ahead of the blue car of Tierney. Now, Tkach was gridded in 10th position, so he's made his way around several cars to get here. Tierney basically holding stations, qualified 4th, just up a spot. Oh, but here comes McLeod. I think McLeod might be the faster of the 3. And all this, they're actually beginning to run down a little bit of Evan Emery, I believe. All this going on behind Mark Usher, who has a 5-second lead. He's long gone. catch. Right on board, looking ahead at Tierney, trying to find his way around. Sean, we talked about it. This is probably not a lot of drivers are going to raise their hand to say, let's race here, huh?
Yeah, well, I think you struggle a little bit here in the Formula Renault. This is a very, very fast track, and I don't know if this car is fast enough for the track, if you know what I mean. It's hard to put it into words, but it just doesn't feel right.
We continue to look at this battle. Let's go to 7th real quick. This is Martinson being challenged by Godin. The driver of that battle we were watching was a little bit tame. This one's a little bit more aggressive here. The Orange Viking, Kmart, running in 7th. Gridded in 9th, trying to hold back Jean-Francois Godin, who is up 6 spots into 8th position. All this still behind odd Jonas Villman, who's having a good run right now in 6th. Godin, boy, looking, I'm not sure if you pick up incident points for going as wide as he did there. Oh, you know what? He not only did he pick up an incident point, he got a slowdown. Let's go up, though, to Martinson, trying to make the pass on the top side around 15. Look at that. He does it high, wide, and handsome. The Orange Viking, Knut Martinson, up to 6th, finally getting around odd Jonas Villman. And here comes Godin as well, as when Martinson got around Villman, it's killed his corner exit out of 15. So let's give another spot to Godin.
And Soup, I think Michael Mittner had a problem. He's having a connection issue. He's falling off of my timing and scoring and dropping through the field. I'm not seeing an incident for him anywhere.
Look at this battle that we have. This is great overhead shot we had of Villman in the battle as Martinson now trying to fend off. Here comes Godin trying to do it on the high side as well. Now we're going to go to P2. Oh my goodness, Emery has had an issue. He's lost the spot to Catch. He's lost one to McLeod and to Tierney. Catch was able to make his way around Ty McLeod. And Adam Tierney, who I think is still the fastest of the group back there. So now Catch out in front of this pack. Let's give you a little interval. 7 seconds from Usher to Catch. Well, that's a large gap with only 13 minutes left of racing. McLeod in 3rd, Tierney in 4th, Emery back to 5th. He has a lot of cushion before he gets back to Knut Martinson. You're looking at our leader right there. Sean, the action up front really hasn't been tremendous. If we had wire-to-wire from Mangan and then it looks like another wire-to-wire from Usher. But back through the pack, man, it has been something else.
Stevie Chambers and Darren Potter are going at it right now. They just swapped positions. They're doing it again. Potter trying to make it work on the outside. Oh, and Potter runs off. Potter runs off into the dirt. Oh, Stevie Chambers keeps digging. He's in 12th, up 15 spots. Soup going to come across the line with about 12 and a half minutes to go.
Let's go to 6th. We didn't get it on screen because it happened right then when we were looking at that, but we can report that Jean-Francois Godin now has got around the Orange Viking. So Godin up to 6th, having a nice run from 14th. Sean, how about some big names that we talked about? Lopez still struggling. My goodness, all the guys that we had hoped that would be able to run through. Koch having a heck of a time. He can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and he's in a battle with Phil Reed. Neither one of those drivers doing particularly well in this sprint race right now, and Koch trying to catch Phil. And that seems to be becoming an even harder proposition right now, as Phil seems to have found a rhythm here.
Yeah, Holstein had a 6th place finish in the feature. He's gone nowhere. In fact, he's lost positions. Really, let's go to P2 here. This is to Catch in a battle. Oh, look at this, coming back on him. This is Ty McLeod. This is a good one. These guys are evenly matched. Adam Tierney now, qualified 4th, and really holding station, even though he's been passed a lot. To Catch got around him, and McLeod has got around him now. You know, maybe the biggest name that has been making a move maybe it would be Hugo Prado running in 9th. He's got a good point there. He's got Kessler ahead of him. That's Prado back there in the yellow machine. Kessler just ahead in 8th. And then maybe they can get to Martinson, too.
Yeah, no, this is a good battle. They've really stayed with each other for most of this race, Sue. I don't think any of those positions is decided right now. It's kind of a follow the leader type deal, and Martinson's been able to hold it down, but Kessler and Prado both showing signs of the ability to get out and try and make a run at each other. So we'll see here over the next few laps, really with just about a little over 10 minutes left. I think maybe we've got, when they come by, maybe about 6 laps left, Soup. So running out of time here to make a move. It's time to get busy.
I know when you're watching at home, you'd like to see us focus on a battle for a while and not jump around so much, but honestly, it is so hard to give you the story and still show you some racing right now as we look here at Kessler. Because while this is going on, there's another great battle going on for 3rd position. It's McLeod and Tierney. Now remember, McLeod was just up on the back of Tkach a second ago. He made a run at him, lost momentum. Now he's fallen back into the clutches of Tierney. That settles down a little bit. 6.2 seconds from Tkach up to Usher. The only thing that Usher may have trouble with is if he runs into some lap traffic, and honestly, there's nothing in front of him with clean track right now. So we ride on board with Tierney, looking ahead with the 2 cars in front of him. Directly ahead, McLeod, 1 car up, Tkach. Christian Tkach, your defending champion, racing for Red Devil Racing. And where is Coke now?
Coke, trouble for Coke, actually. And he took the tow.
Did he take the tow, or did he run out of was it an incident thing? It's hard to say whether it was a tow or incident cap. Whatever it is, he's gone.
Yeah, he spins it. Well, he got really, really squirrely, and then I guess just lost his rhythm. But Christian there misses the exit on the chicane. Gets a little bit too much curb, spins, and then he just manually disconnected. I think he'd had enough.
He was racing outside the points anyway. Looking at our points leader, you can see 5.6 seconds. Oh my goodness. Christian Tkach has knocked off about half a second off that lead. Don't get excited, fan. There's only 8 minutes of racing to go. I think Usher is well in control of this one. Get comfortable, Mark. Take off the cummerbund. I think you're in good shape. Tkach racing in 2nd position. McLeod and Tierney.
I tell you what, Evan Imre better get busy here, get back on the throttle, because Jean-Francois Godin wants that 5th place spot. Last time by, he was a full 2 seconds faster than Evan.
Prado racing in 9th. Or we look back, there's Godin in 6th. I think he has a real shot. I think Godin has a real chance to get up to Emre.
Evan's definitely going to have to be flawless here.
Well, he's having one of those races. He was gridded 3rd. He finished, would that be 17th in the feature race. So picked up a few points there. Now looking to pick up some more here if he can hold off Godin. I'm not even sure if I know Evan. He'll race his line, and when Godin gets there, it won't make it too difficult on him. And let's take a quick look. Oh, I thought I heard problems, but I guess we are still okay. See if we can highlight anybody that hasn't gotten any attention from us yet. Oh, let's go to P2. Oh my goodness. This is where we can watch this whole show right here. Now, on the top side, that is McLeod. And McLeod's going to get it done. I thought he might be the faster of the 3 cars, and now he's got it. Tkach bangs it over the curbing there a little bit behind him. Tierney running in 4th. And
anything could still happen up here.
And the gap to the leader down to 5 seconds with 6 minutes of racing left. Nevertheless, a good points day for McLeod.
Yeah, I think Usher's up there just being a little careful right now, Sue.
Drivers who are finishing outside of the points, Renee Osterkamp in 17th. Phil Reed, I don't even show. Did Phil Reed blink away again? Is Reed gone? Reed's not racing anymore.
Yeah, I'm showing the same thing, Sue.
In fact, I have a few drivers who are missing. Maybe Daniel Morris is also gone as well. So there's a couple spots. Let's go to P3. Look at this. To catch going the wrong direction as Adam Tierney gets around him. They go down into Aqua Minerale now. Get the throttle down, heading down to Alta, and look at that Tierney back up into 3rd spot. What a great run from Adam.
Jean-Francois Godin did get around Evan Imre there, Sue.
You got him.
He did it on the front stretch coming across the start-finish line. He is now up to 5th. It's going to be a tough ask to get to Christian to catch. He's a little over 4 seconds up the track from him.
Let's drop back to 8th real quick because this is heating up. This is Kessler, and here comes Prado trying to make a run. Prado, again, another one of those drivers looking to have a good day. I think Prado got a 4th place finish in the feature. Working to get on the back of Kessler. Let's stay on this a minute. I think he's too far back to make a move here. Sean, this is really probably the best passing spot down into
yes,
this triple chicane down here. Oh, Kessler makes a mistake.
Oh.
See ya later.
Yeah, and I talked about those sausage curves, man. You really got to watch it. That upset the car so much. That's going to be tough to recover from, Sue.
Yep.
He might have damage.
Yeah, and that might give an opportunity for Villman to get back in there. Well, yeah, he really bounced over those chicane stuff. So, give another spot to Prado, looking to have a big points day. Once McLeod got around those guys, he's able to race away. Once Adam Tierney got around to catch, he's able to distance himself. So that battle, which was once so close for a second, is now stretched out a bit.
It has. There's still a battle going for the final podium spot. To catch is not giving up on this.
Every time I check the interval between the leader and the 2nd place driver, it's the same as the minutes left. If I check when there was 7 minutes, the gap was 7 seconds. I check at 5 minutes, it's 5 seconds. I check now with 3 minutes, it's 3 seconds.
Conspiracy theory, maybe?
Mark Usher just trying to get a little more screen time, trying to make it more interesting than it actually is. He comes across the start-finish line with just under 3 minutes to go. Maybe 2 more laps after. Listen, 1 more, maybe we'll see.
Stevie Chambers and Darren Potter still having fun out here, Sue. Still swapping positions. It's 12th and 13th place they're fighting for, and Stevie, this lap, this section of the track is ahead. He's in 12th, but I don't know, wait about 3 or 4 turns and maybe give it back to Darren Potter. It's going to come down to the last lap for these two.
Racing well inside the point cutoff line. Let's go look at 9th position.
Oh, it looks like Willman just got by Kessler there.
Well, you know, Sean, we called it when Kessler took his little thrill ride over the bumps. I think that damaged, maybe not the wings, but I can actually see some damage on the wings. Probably the undercarriage. So
yeah, he got some wing damage. So the left front wing is all jacked up right now.
I don't know if I have broadcast. I honestly have spent very little time in the Formula Renault, but I don't know if there is a more finicky car than this car for picking up damage. My goodness, you look at it wrong, and the wing is broken.
It's a little car, Soup. It's not a monstrous. It's not a Chevrolet C7 Daytona prototype. Okay, it's a little Formula Renault. It's dainty. It's French. It's French and it's dainty.
Okay,
there we go. There's okay.
Oh, to catch
Oh
as
boy,
these.
big mistake. Big mistake out of Ravazza too.
And that's gonna cost him a spot. That's gonna give. We're talking about French and dainty. Well, that's gonna give the drive to the French Canadian here, Jean-Francois Godin, who hopefully wasn't listening to that part of the broadcast. Jacques Le Bleu, he would say. You're talking about women, right? The dainty French women is what you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that moves Godin up into 4th, Emre back into 5th, Martinson into 6th. Where the heck did to catch? He goes all the way back to 7th. 20 seconds of racing left. We're thinking this might be the white flag lap as our leader is just working his way through Aqua Minerale. Yeah, now this is probably not. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, no, this is the white flag lap, Soup.
Yeah.
Darren Potter, and I'm still watching Potter and Chambers because it changed again. Chambers is back in front of Potter. This is the last lap. Those two will keep on fighting.
What we'll watch here when Usher is just working his way through 14 and 15, this couldn't come any fast enough for Patrick Kessler, who's fading, as now Lopez is beginning to run him down. Meanwhile, our leader has negotiated his way through Ravazza. He was last on the lead lap for the feature race. He's first on the lead lap for the sprint race. Round number 5. Sprint race goes to Mark Usher, Ty McLeod, and Adam Tierney. Round out your podium. Let's see. We got a nice battle back here for 6th position. This is Martinson in a battle with Tkach. And it looks like Martinson through Ravazza is going to be okay. Is there enough time to catch? Might have a tow. Let's see if he can get there. Remember, we talked about the start-finish line. It comes early. Here comes to catch. I think he's going to get there in time. No. Make sure I am live is what the director says to me. Let's go to P12.
Yep, Jordi Lopez, Stevie Chambers still battling for it. Stevie Chambers and Darren Potter. And it's going to be Stevie Chambers is going to get across the line first in front of Darren Potter. And picked up on the back end of Jordi Lopez there, finishing just behind Kessler.
And I think, are we done? That brings us through now
Andy
that I am back to live. Go ahead, Sean.
Cowie and Hurt coming across there to finish it out. And Eunice Vostamaki still on course.
16th for Vostamaki. That's going to earn him a point as the sprint race only pays down that far. Big names who did not score. Osterkamp, Koch, Holstein, Mittner, and of course your feature race winner, Oscar Mangden. Okay, what we're going to do here on the Global Sim Racing channel, I believe we're going to take a break, but don't go far because we'll be back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to the drivers, and close up shop. Back in a few. Welcome back to Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, Round 5 from Imola. We've got both races in the book, the 40-minute feature and the 25-minute sprint. Let's run down the finishing order of that sprint race that just concluded. Your winner, he started on the pole. He finished last on the lead lap of the feature. He's going to finish first on the lead lap of the sprint. Mark Usher, Ty McLeod went from 7th to 2nd, had a real good run. Adam Tierney rounds out your podium. Jean-Francois Godin, we're looking at it. We think he's got a good points day in front of him with the 4th place here in the sprint race. Evan Emre, Knut Martinsen, very, very happy with his night of racing, this morning of racing, I apologize, as he finishes 6th on the grid. Christian DeCatch behind him. Hugo Prado did his best to climb up, one of the big names, 16th to 8th. Odd Jonas Villman in 9th position, and rounding out your top 10, he was able to limp that car home, Patrick Klessler. Sean?
All right, let's take the next 10. Jordi Lopez Jr. going to finish 11th. Stevie Chambers, 12th. Darren Potter, 13th. What a great battle he had with Stevie. Andy Cowie, the milkman, comes up a little bit short, 14th. Silvio Hurt, 15th. Eunice Fastamaki, 16th. 17th. Going to go to Renee Osterkamp. Right where he started, Soup. Daniel Morris, 18th. Phil Reed, 19th. Chris Burgess, well, Soup, 20th.
There you go. Thank you, Sean. Now we get down to 21st position. Look at this big name for Christian Koch. Christoph Holstein, Michael Mittner, 21, 22, and 23. Some big names out of the points. Little Bird, Sarah Dove. Behind them, Alexander Valdo, Patrick Junn, Scott Newton. Lawrence Sudden Strike to Reich did not strike well today as he's going to finish in 28th position. Our feature race winner, not able to get any points in the sprint race, Oscar Mangan, as he got hip-checked off by Michael Mittner. Going to come home in 29th. 30th and 31st, Aisio Talius, who was very much not a factor, and then Manuel Hoyer, which I'm not even sure took the grid here today. Okay, there you have it for the results of the sprint race. Do we have anybody up in the interview? Oh, well, Sean, let me let you talk to this guy. This is always fun. Ask him one question and let him go. And that is, of course, we're going to talk to the Flying V, little Stevie Chambers. Go ahead, Sean.
All right. Now, Stevie, this was let's just talk about the sprint race right now, because you had a very spirited battle with Darren Potter. You guys are having a lot of fun out there, weren't you?
That was tremendous. Let's stick to the sprint race because nothing really happened in the feature. I don't even know was there even a feature race. Anyway, that was an amazing race. I kind of went into it like, yeah, here we go, great, woo! And I think Darren had some front wing damage or something that meant he was a bit slower than he normally would be. And the results were interesting, let's say that.
Yeah, you guys kept switching that position back and forth. It almost seemed like nobody really wanted 12th, but someone had to take it. In the end, it was you. Congratulations.
He was not beating me, put it that way. I was prepared for the whole lap, sort of thinking, right, where's he going to go? Because you get psychological with it, and I didn't know whether he'd been just toying with me most of the way through the lap, knowing it most of the way through the race, knowing he got the damage, thinking, right, on the last lap, I've got to get him, and I've got to make it stick. So I was prepared for the unexpected, which is difficult. But in the end, he didn't actually throw anything at me, which kind of ruined it. The problem I did have was that my window was open. Just a little off topic. Window was open, starts raining, there's now water on my floor because I couldn't get up from the race to go and shut it.
Yeah.
First world problems, eh?
Yeah, well, hey, real world problems, man. It happens all the time. Listen, I got to ask you real quick. What you came up 15 spots. I mean, you started in the back of this field. What was it like getting through that carnage there early on?
I don't think I've ever had like a good 3 laps of racing where there's always been yellow flags. It was something else. And it wasn't like, we didn't have a big one. We didn't have a big crash that took out half the field. It was lots of little incidents. So you go to one corner, like, yellow flag, car on the left, okay. And you get to the next corner, car stops on the right, like, okay, all right, fine. Like the world's worst slalom.
Well, listen, Stevie, congratulations on a good day, and sounds like it was a lot of fun. We wish you well, my friend, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Our thanks to Stevie Chambers. Always a blast to talk to. Soup.
Quick story this week from Stevie Chambers. I'll do this real quick. I'm always getting criticized for using references in my commentary that are like 40, 50 years old. Stevie Chambers gets into an argument with Michael Mittner. Stevie is one of the race stewards. And Michael Mittner drops a Laurel and Hardy reference, calling the race stewards Laurel and Hardy. That wins. He automatically wins the argument there when he drops a Laurel. And that was from literally 100 years ago, I believe. So congratulations to Michael Mittner for doing that one. Let's go ahead and bring in Ty McLeod right now. Ty had a good race. My gosh, how fun. Second place in the sprint.
Should have been the win, though. Should have been the win.
Yeah, there was no way you were going to be touching Mark Usher. You were best in class, I think, for that second in the sprint race.
Yeah, it was not too bad. But if I didn't have the spin on lap 2 or 3, then I probably would have had the win. But it was good to... Well, I think I dropped back about 10 seconds behind him and then caught him up to, 1.5 over the line?
Yeah, you were closing on it on the very end. We were watching it.
One more lap.
Yeah, one more lap. That's it. We saw you running them down. That was for sure. Yeah. Okay, it's good to know. We thought if Mark was just minding the gap, you were chasing him down. Let's talk about that battle though that you had there in the end with DeCatch was involved with it and Tierney and Godin. That was fun.
Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah, Tierney was always a threat at the back. I had to keep that in the mirror all the way through through every corner because he was looking to get past, and to catch, he's, as always, really hard to pass. It ended up being a mistake on his end that let me through, but I'll take it, because it helped me build the gap for second.
Go ahead, Sean, you got a question?
All right. Soup's not going to let me get away with making him ask. All right, Ty, my quick question. I want to be part of this. McGregor or Mayweather?
In boxing, Mayweather. Easy.
But who wins this match?
In the match, yeah, it's going to be Mayweather. Won't be a knockout, but it'll be Mayweather.
Okay, all right. I had to get it in there. All right. Well, McGregor or McLeod? McGregor or McLeod?
Oh, McLeod, easy.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's all that matters. Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on the good race today, and folks, save your money on that event. By the way. All right.
Thanks very much. See you again.
All right, do we have anybody else up there, Sean? I think we're done here.
We do not, sir. Okay, unfortunately, we don't. Let's
go ahead and wrap things up. This closing segment is going to be about exciting as the Mayweather-McGregor fight is going to be. We'd like to thank everyone at Apex Online Racing for organizing for the Renault 2.0 Championship and for the members who support the broadcast. We know you have a lot of choices when you fly. Thanks for flying GSRC. Thanks for the company's equipment or software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. The original music you heard today, well, that's from Eric Echolm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them.
The AOR returns next week, Friday, July 21st. 21st from round 6 from Virginia International Raceway. I'm sorry, folks. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. For information about GSRC, your best bet is globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on social media. Twitter, you can get us at GSR Channel. And Facebook, just type in Global Sim Racing Channel.
Okay, let's pull back the curtains. We have a script. It's last week it said July 14th with the TH. We add 7 numbers to it and we turned it to 21st, but we forgot to change the TH to an ST. So Sean read 21st. Nice job, buddy. And now on behalf of the man who reads the script as he sees it, Sean Ambrose, our director Amjad Yaman, and our camera artist Dougie Beard, we'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storm of the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.